Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times here in Amherstburg, back here on the airwaves of CKBG 107.9 FM The Berg for the RTT's Week in Review.
What kind of clothes are you wearing today, Ron? It's day by day here. We never know how to dress.
I know. Today I'm back with the my stylish hoodie / golf shirt combo.
Never saw that before on you.
Not at all. And with the lovely spring jacket, and last week it was just the golf shirt. So
I'm sick of it. Make up your mind.
Exactly. Last week I had the air conditioning on in my apartment, and then today the heat's back on. So.
And it doesn't look like it's going to change for the foreseeable future. I think tomorrow it's supposed to be much the same, and then heading into the weekend, kind of a mixed bag again. So what are you going to do?
Yep, the joys of living in Essex County, I suppose.
That's right. And I feel like I said to Terrence when I walked in, and 6 weeks from now we'll be complaining it's too bloody hot.
Exactly, yeah. The air conditioning will be working overtime. We'll be complaining about utility bills. And
always something to complain about.
Of course.
All right, turning our attention to the paper. A charity barbecue was held last Saturday at Sobeys. Produce worker Bill Blackwell has been facing some major health issues, and Rick and Krista Truant, owners of Sobeys, alongside their staff, hosted a barbecue in the store parking lot, looking to share some support and get some financial donations towards Bill, and they raised over $12,000.
It was a great turnout. I mean, I was joking. People are even handing me money. I was just standing there waiting to get everyone together for a group shot, and I heard my name, and people are reaching, handing me $20 bills with their car window. So
then you ran away?
No, I put it in the charity bucket, or whatever you want to call it. And
that's awesome.
So it all added up, and yeah, they got about $12,000. So and it was the barbecue. They had a raffle inside the store. They had I think they were selling popcorn or giving it away for a donation inside the store. There's a GoFundMe page that's still up. They really helped out one of their own. And Bill, I talked to Bill for a bit. He's a nice guy, and his coworkers and Rick and Krista and everyone at the Sobeys said nothing but good things about Bill. So it was great to see the community pulled together, and well, I mean, as it always does. Amherstburg's great for that, and yeah, they got a good chunk of change from a barbecue, a raffle, and selling popcorn inside the store. So let's keep it going. Again, the GoFundMe page is still up, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, best of luck to you, Bill, and hopefully you're back at work soon.
Do you have the GoFundMe in the story? Kind of put you on the spot here.
Yeah, I believe I mentioned it. Just if not, I'll get it up on our social media, but. Just keep plugging away, Amherstburg, and he still needs a bit of help financial wise, and
he's got a long road ahead of him for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, but he's looking forward to getting back to work, and they're looking forward to having him back at work because they really enjoy having him around. So good luck to you, Bill, and hopefully again you're back at the store soon.
And good job, Sobeys, for sure. Sunday, local collective art project unveiled the work of 12 local artists inside the Story Hotel.
Yeah, it features 12 different paintings. They're all kind of in the back of the bar / restaurant. They all have different looks to them, different styles, and it was coordinated by Dylan White. And Dylan and his father Dennis are just two of the artists. Our own Matthew Zaydan, our graphic designer, he's one of the artists featured as part of the show, the exhibit. I guess it's ongoing, so I mean, they may switch it up over time, but the works are still going to be there for a while. So if you want to make a point of heading down to the O on Murray Street, feel free to head on down there and check it out. And other artists, of course, are Stephen Gibb, Marshall White, Rob McClellan, Dennis White, Julie Robinson, Jay Santarosa, Brooke White, Andrea White, Natalie White, and Cameron Arksey. So make sure you head on down to the O as part of Hotel Story, and you can check it out, have a drink, and just admire some really good artwork. And this is, from what I gathered just from talking to Dylan and some of the other artists, this isn't a one and done. They have other ideas in mind. They have other themes they want to work on. And so it sounds like the local collective art project is going to be here for a little while, and they're going to be a boost to the town's art scene. And it's great to see. And again, it was a nice reception. They had a lot of support on Sunday afternoon at the opening reception or open house, or however the event was characterized as. But yeah, about 12 local artists, and the work is going to be ongoing for a while.
Speaking of local artists, and specifically Dylan Dennis White, they have completed 2 murals inside Art Alley between Ramsey and Dalhousie.
They were finished up last week. I know Dennis and Dylan White did one on the back of the beaver tails and across the lot on part of the Lot 10 building, whereas Kevin Burdick, he's an American artist. He's just south of Flint, Michigan, but he's done work all over the country, and He's all across the U.S. and into Canada, and he's featured. So we have some local talent in the Whites, as well as Kevin Burdick, and I both will be part of the art crawl, which is coming back in mid-July. So keep your eyes out for that. And again, but the work is back in the art alley, so you can get to it either off Ramsey Street or off of Dalhousie Street, and just walk on back and check out some of the artwork. Of course, there's already some murals back there. Dennis had already painted a mural on the back of the Musicland building. That was a Beatles theme mural. The one on the back of the Beaver Tails right next door is more of a Canadian scene.
With a beaver.
With a beaver in it, of course. And that goes with some of the existing artwork that's back there. I know there's plans for even more, and for more work in back of that building and back of the some of the businesses. And again, they have some right at the entrance to Art Alley off of Dalhousie. They have some of the winners of last year's Kids Art Contest during the art crawl, and I know they're already looking for kids to participate this year. All kinds of stuff going on in the art scene in Amherstburg, and we've got it covered for you in this week's issue of the Rivertown Times.
A couple items from last Monday's council meeting. In this week's paper, Councillor Don MacArthur brought up the topic of the third phase of the Websea Bike Trail at the Libro Centre, and Councillor Diane Pouget brought forth concerns she had received from local businesses regarding the signing bylaw.
Yeah, there were some concerns with A-frame signage, and some business owners were at council, but because of the procedural bylaw and there was no report before council, unfortunately, they were not given the opportunity to speak this time around. We'll see. I'm sure the issue is not going away anytime soon, and they could be back before council at some point in the future. So if they are, we'll keep an eye on that. And I know Don was looking for approvals for the final phase of the Websea Trails. I know they've received conditional approvals, and they've raised the money, and they're looking just to get those third phase under construction. It's a 3-phase project, and 1 and 2 are done, and now they're just looking for to be able to get the go-ahead to work on phase 3. That, of course, is at the Libro Centre and around the back of the berms and the back of the building. And there's the first 2 phases, and they're looking to come out more on the south end of the property, kind of wrap around the Libro Centre arena itself. And so they're just looking for final approvals, and no notice of motion was ended up being made, and that's going to come back at an upcoming meeting. So we'll definitely stay on top of that issue.
Fort Malden has opened the park with some notable changes to the park access, and they've also announced that a new festival is coming to the park this summer.
Yeah, there's we got a full story on the park opening in this week's issue of the RTT, so make sure you check that out. And it goes into a bit more detail on the policy with regards to gate access. Specifically, it sounds like the gate in the Dalhousie Street, Fort Malden Drive area. I think it's just more so the fort wants to do some more exhibits, more demonstrations along the waterfront area, and it's just, I think, in their minds at least keeps people safe and just a bit more of a precautionary measure, it sounds like.
I'm disappointed, though. I'm going to interject.
Yeah, no, you're a frequent walker of the
I
park.
love walking down there, especially in the mornings before work, and knowing that you could get in there off Dalhousie Street and just do a quick lap through Fort Malden. I love that, and I love the time that I spent in there, and just how many times I walk through and think, how lucky am I that I get to live here? And I understand why they're keeping that gate closed, but if you see me hopping the fence, please don't call anybody. I'm just getting my steps in.
Yeah, I know Fred Groves did the story, so I'd have to double check the finer points of it. I believe it's during park hours.
I think you're right, yeah.
But so it sounds like if early mornings,
I don't know what time the park opens. We really should have looked
we-
more into this before we popped off on having opinions.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe a little bit more prep work needs to be done on the.
I'll look into it.
Okay, yeah, but at any rate, during park hours, we know the policy is in effect. So if you're wondering why you have to go in the main gates off Laird, that's why. Again, more details are in the paper this week, and also online on our website, www.rivertowntimes.com.
Just to come back to that story, what I first said at the beginning, they're going to have a new festival there. A medieval fair is coming June 14th and 15th.
Yeah, it's, I know more details. It's a company out of Stratford helping to present this, and more details are on fairs.ca. That's FAIRES. That website is contained in the story in this week's issue of the Rivertown Times. And again, it's on our website, fairs.com, fairs.ca, pardon me. It's FAIRES.ca. So make sure you check that out. Jousting, comedy,
Oh, I have
birds
some
of
ideas.
prey, and
Are they looking for volunteers? I think I know a guy that probably has a jester costume hanging in his closet, just screaming to get out. I'm talking about Terrence.
Terrence. I can't say I've ever seen Terrence in a Chester costume. I can't, nor can I speak for what's in his wardrobe. But
I'm glad you can. If you could, it'd be a different show.
exactly. At any rate, that's mid-June. Full story in this week's RTT. And well, make sure you check that out. And it's also on the web, as I say.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a fun weekend, I'm sure. Turning our attention to sports, North Star Boys Baseball is 2-3 on the season, following a loss to Brennan last week and a loss last night to Tecumseh.
Yeah, it was a little bit closer game against Brennan. They were back on the diamond yesterday at the Libro Center after this issue went to press. They ended up losing 10-1 at the Libro Center yesterday. And so it was a disappointing result for the Wolves. They're looking to get back on track. They got a busy week. They play again today and on Thursday. And I believe today's game is against LeSource. And Thursday, I believe they're in Essex. And both games are on the road. So you'll have to drive if you want to check out Wolves baseball action. A bit of a better story for St. Thomas of Villanova. They played in the Wexa tournament starting yesterday. They won all three games they played. So good job by the Wildcats. And we're looking to follow up that story for upcoming week's issue of the RTT. So a tough week for the Wolves, but a better result yesterday for the St. Thomas of Villanova Wildcats. So great job by them. And we're looking to stay on top of them going forward.
Girls slow pitch picked up 2 wins last week, but they fell short to the visiting Leamington Lions.
Yeah, so 2 wins last week and a loss. So 2 of those games were at their home field at the Malden Diamonds. So great job by North Star there. Not quite of a good result yesterday. They were back in action again after this week's issue of the RTT went to press. They were out at Coan Park, and they played Cardinal Carter, and they played Sandwich and lost both games. But a couple of tough opponents, and it's a younger group of Wolves on the girls slow pitch diamond, and they're looking to right the ship as playoffs get going in the coming days and into next week.
21 North Star Wolf track and field competitors took part in the Wexa, and they represented the school really well. Some of them even secured a spot to SWASA. Yeah,
some records broken. I know I saw online as well. Good job by Villanova. They did well as well. So we have a story on North Star in this week's issue of the RTT. That's on page 11, so make sure you check that out. And we've got more details, and we're looking to stay on top of all the local sports action. And yes, and the SWASA track is scheduled for this week. I believe it's today and tomorrow at Sandwich. Of course, that's weather permitting. Again, it's kind of miserable and kind of rainy out there today. So if the rain holds off, I'm sure they'll be active in whatever events they're involved in, and whether it's on the track or in the field. So we'll stay on top of that as best we can as well.
Good stuff. Turning our attention to the weekend, Ride for Dad is on Sunday, and they have stops here at the Legion, Branch 157. Where did you tell me the ride starts this year?
It's back at Thunder Road, Harley-Davidson. Right. It's for prostate cancer research and awareness. It's become a regular thing here in town, so if you hear some rumbling about 10:20 or 10:30 on Sunday morning, don't worry. It's just a motorcycle Ride for Dad riding into town, and their first stop is the Legion. And then after a stop there, and they're going to head out to Colchester Bar and Grill and head to CBG's after that. Then they end up in Bell River. So again, we're going to be out at that Sunday morning. And again, roughly in and around the 10:30 range, give or take, say 10-15 minutes either way. And it's probably no earlier than 10:30, I'm guessing, based on past experiences. But don't hold me to that if you see some bikes come through a little bit earlier. So again, it's for prostate cancer research and awareness. So the bikes are coming, and hopefully they have good weather for it.
I need somebody with a sidecar to take you along for a ride. You get the goggles, like the scarf blowing in the wind behind you. Yeah. It's a look.
You got a lot of plans for me.
I do. Sounds like. You know the amount of time I spend thinking about stuff for you to do. It's alarming.
It sounds like, yeah.
I could be very productive otherwise. Okay. Also this weekend on Sunday, the cadets, Branch 202, is hosting their inspection, and that's going to be at North Star this year. My son Luca participated in that last year, and it was in the city, so to know it's going to be here at North Star is pretty exciting, and it's a fun day to see all the cadets dressed up and marching around and showing off all their hard work for the year. So congrats to the cadets and everybody involved in that.
Yeah, Local 202 Fort Malden and Royal Canadian Army Cadet Corps always does a great job. And so we're looking forward to being out there. And I'm sure there's going to be some awards. There's going to be some inspections. And it's just a great way to end the year for the local Cadet Corps. As I say, they all traditionally have done a great job. And we're going to be reporting on that this weekend.
Yeah, That's exciting. Also this weekend on Saturday is our graphic designer Matthew Zaydan. It's his birthday, so we also have a little announcement in the paper for him. So if you happen to see Matthew out this weekend, be sure to wish him a happy birthday and congratulate him on his art display at the hotel there. Thank you for all that you do, Matt. You're talented, and you bring certainly a wit that fits right in with us at the paper. So happy birthday, Matt. We hope you have a great day.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Anything else, Ron, for the weekend?
That's about it. We just kind of scratched the surface of what's in this week's RTT. We got the Community Living Essex County Luncheon with the Mayors. They focused on inclusive employment. We've got the charity yard sales coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, May 29th through 31st, out at Mary and Mark Beneto's home on Middle Side Road, otherwise known as County Road 10. So we got a preview story on that.
That's for the Hope of St. Joseph?
It is, and we got the Amherstburg Horticultural Society did a plant sale, and there's even more in this week's RTT in terms of stories, photos, ads. Check out the whole package at a newsstand or at a newspaper box near you. And our drivers, Ken and Louise, are stocking them up in not only Amherstburg, but Essex, Harrow, and LaSalle as well. I know we're restocking some boxes with phone books, so the phone book is still available, so make sure you check that out. And we're still working on that tourist guide, so that'll be out soon before you know it.
Yeah, before the end of the month, we'll have that out on the shelves so everybody can pick up their copy. Also, if you have something going on at your school, I know there's some fun days coming up and all that kind of stuff. Let us know. We like to get out and cover that and highlight the children in our community. So be sure to reach out to myself or Ron. And if you have a yard sale, let us know the Friday before the yard sale. We can get it in for the following Wednesday. I know people like to get the yard sales in because people pick up the paper to see what's going on for the weekend. So if you have a yard sale, let me know and we can get that in the paper for you.
Absolutely.
All right, Amherstburg, have a great day.
Have a great day. Have a great week. And check us out on the web, rivertowntimes.com. Pick us up at the newsstand or in a newspaper box. And we'll see you back here on the airwaves of CKBG next Wednesday at 12 noon and the replay at 4:30 p.m.